God, it's been ages, isn't it? You all miss me, yeah? God, how's it all going? What have we done since we left then? I've been quite productive. I've dropped my daughter off to work. I've had my car washed. And talking about car washes, everyone, God, it's gone up. I paid £32 for in and out. And it used to be £16 a couple of years ago. And then he charged me £25 3-4 months ago. £32, get your car washed. To be fair, I haven't done it in many, many months. And I can't be asked to go out there with my machine and do it. It's too hot. And I've had some fish cakes for lunch. Getting ready for a wedding later on today. What about you guys in the chat? How are you doing? You had a good lunch and stuff? So let me just go through the chat and then we'll crack on. This show is going to be about a preview for the season. My feelings on what I think is going to happen. Have a brief look at all the teams in the league, where they're going to finish. I'll show you a nice little app where that makes your life a lot easier if you like predictions with your friends and family. We'll have a look at the Fantasy Football League quickly. Frankie's here.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, I was just saying, I went for a car wash, mate. I paid £32 in and out. That's a lot. It's gone up.
Sounds like a lot of money to wash your car, mate.
I paid £25 3-4 months ago. They used to charge 16s every time I go there. Bloody hell!
Your negotiating deal should be more like David Sullivan, mate.
I'll tell you what, though. I forgot what I was going to say now. It's getting to me a lot of times like that. No, it's gone. It's gone out of my mind, mate. How you been anyway? You been all right?
Good, mate. Good. Having a little bit of time out for the first time in a very, very long time, mate. So, centre force on downstairs. Mickey Moore and Pasture on there, live from Tenerife, having a good jam along to some tunes. I've got a Bloody Mary. I'm loving life. Son. I'm loving life.
I was mentioning that the other day to my son. I said, I haven't had that in ages. He kept thinking it's a winter drink. I don't know, is it?
Yeah, just whenever you fancy getting on it, mate, to be fair.
Yeah. I get my daughter to make me some cocktails. I'm pretty crap. I need to learn. For one of her birthday presents a couple of years ago, we sent her on London to one of the cocktail bars where they show you how to make 4 or 5, I think. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you consume them as part of the price, I think. And then my wife booked me up for some bar and it was closed a couple of years ago. I've got to do that again. But that's good. Yeah, weather's good for you. So hopefully find a few things to do out there.
Yeah, mate.
Let's see what's happening in the chat before we get cracking. Another busy week. Not as far as I know, mate. I've heard he's in the building, even by official West Ham thing. So he's in the building, mate. I think he drove down from London yesterday. And that should be imminent, hopefully. Yes, Hammerhead, I'm back again. I did one in the morning, didn't I, mate? Yeah, I did one in the morning. No, but West Ham are slow with the photos and things like that, mate. What can you do? It's me. Tommy, how you doing? Dave saying hello to Frankie. So before we get into something else, mate, the week with West Ham, what's your feelings? What do you think? What's gone on? A couple of things. I mean, obviously, Onana, Cornet, your man Diaz fails to be linked away from the club, mate. You called it early. We'll see what happens. So, yeah, on those three, really, on Onana, Cornet, and Diaz, mate, or anything else that you can think of, yeah.
No, I mean, that's pretty much it, mate, for this week, isn't it? I think Diaz, I've always said, I think he will come in. He'll be the sort of final one that comes in late on in the window. So I've always expected that. So I think that will happen. Onana, I don't know, mate. It's one of them weird ones again, isn't it? It's just a typical West Ham transfer, just back and forth. And, you know, things are confirmed and then everyone gets excited and then it all breaks down. It's same old story. But I don't know, mate. What do you believe? People are saying he wants too much money. There's loads of different, you know, opinions about what he wanted in terms of wages. What do you believe? It's hard to. That's why the whole way through, mate, I've just kind of waited for things to happen before getting excited about them all. And but for me, Cornet is exactly the sort of player we needed, mate. Just pace down the wing, a proper winger, a wide man who can actually get at players. And I'm over the moon that he's here because we needed someone like that, mate. It was. You know, we had no pace in that front line, and now we've got some. So his injury record worries me a little bit. He does seem to love a bit of time out, so that's a little bit of a concern. But for the money, mate, no, I'm really happy with that one, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, we had a look at his injury record because someone did flag up this morning. And what it is, when he gets injured, he's out for... It's not too long. It's a game or two. And then someone said he was away for the African Nations Cup. He's got 20-odd caps for Ivory Coast. And when I saw footage of him, God, I was more impressed than I thought I would be. Very explosive,
Mhm.
9 goals, I think, in 26 games and one or two assists. And could be that left wing player, mate, behind Skamaka, perhaps, instead of
I think so.
Fornells. Yeah.
I think so. But that is one thing that I think, you know, in terms of Fornells, Benrahma, Lanzini, mate, that left position that we sort of used to put them square pegs in round holes is, will be solved. And I don't know which one plays in the middle. One of them's gonna miss out, mate, because you can't play them all. So out of them, I think either Lanzini, he's been struggling a little bit over the last few years on the decline since his injury. Maybe he's one to go. I don't know. He's always sort of hinted with going back to Argentina, so I can see that happening. But again, people love Fornell. Some people love Benrahma. I can see him not getting as much time as people may want from him, mate. So, but for the right reasons, because I think Cornet is a proper winger. We've lacked having a proper winger for so long. We've lacked a striker. We've lacked having a proper winger, and finally we've got those two things sorted. So, no, it's good news, mate.
Yeah, I think with Cornet, mate, you can play in a 4-4-2 up front with Skamaka. Little man, big man, he can do that. I don't think he can play by himself. Diaz, I think he can play by himself. He's 6'1". That one fails to go away. It goes quiet on Diaz, and it always comes back, mate, doesn't it?
It does.
And
I think it's because they know it's not that flagship signing, isn't it? It's not someone that people will get particularly excited about. That's why I think it will come over the line towards the end. But, mate, a utility player like him, what he is at the moment for me, he won't be someone who would be a starter for me in the Premier League, but someone who, can start some other games. I'm debating at the moment, mate. I saw your thumbnail for this video, and it had all the competitions trophies that we're in for this forthcoming season. And people won't like to hear it, mate. But even though we bought a few players over the line in this window, I think we still have to prioritise, mate. I think our squad is still well too weak to focus on all those competitions. And, I think some of it's got to be sacrificed, mate. And which ones are the ones that get sacrificed? I certainly won't be confident sticking Diaz up front in important Europa Conference League games. I wouldn't feel comfortable with him being your man up there. So,
that one obviously. Yeah, he similar to Cornet. He can play up front. He can play 4-4-2 up front with Skamaka. He can play on the wing. CDM. I really wanted a CDM in, but we'll see what happens. I suppose you might have to wait till Christmas for one or two more. But yeah, Klosic, whatever, left wing. Well, left wing back's not going to happen. He waited for Juve. I think that one could be done. Connor Cody as Dabs. Dabs, are you all right? Connor Cody out the blue. I wasn't even thinking about that, mate. Just come in this morning. I think he's
not for me, mate. Not for me. That one. We've got such an aging squad. This is what people again don't appreciate sometimes. With the last season we had the third oldest squad in the Premier League. The two teams that had an older squad than us both got relegated. Then we had the oldest squad in the league, mate. So. Cody, 29, for me, just leave that one alone, mate, to be honest. I think we've got enough defenders that we should be looking at who's next. We should be looking at a defender who can come in, fight for his place, and then, sort of becomes hopefully our main centre-back over the next few years. I don't really want a Cody who's going to be there for a couple of seasons, and not for me, mate.
Fair enough, mate. So let me just share my screen. Tommy wants Diaz. He likes Diaz. All about different opinions, mate. And this is the time of the year, whereas, since when I was a kid, I used to buy Shoot magazine, Match magazine. They used to have these league ladders where the teams used to put them in the league. Some people predictions, excited about new signings, new kits, and obviously a lot of people in different sort of magazines and programs are kind of looking at West Ham and kind of saying 7th or 8th, really. This is the app I found, which is quite good. I think it looks like the one my mate Casey uses on his channel. And I literally did it 5 minutes before you went live. You're able to move these clubs around, that they come into nice 6 kind of buckets. And some of the things are quite hard to do, Frankie. I mean, champions, I wasn't sure what to do between Man City and Liverpool. I quickly just went City in there. Again, Nunes hitting the ball running hard, and sooner or later will come good. I've got the 2 naughty clubs I hate, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and then you got us. with Chelsea, Man United, and Newcastle right behind us, mate. And so, looking at those 6 different brackets, I don't know if you roughly agree. I mean, it's probably roughly what people are thinking. A relegation, I was pretty confident. I went straight for Southampton, Bournemouth, Fulham. I didn't think Southampton got anything, especially they're not going to have Broja anymore. And then obviously Ward-Prowse is just unusually very quiet about ever leaving that club. Leeds have lost a couple of players, bought a couple in. Palace, not going to have Conor Gallagher, mate. Forest, I thought they'll be okay, because they've literally, I know it doesn't always work, they've bought so many players in. Everton, I think Onana, again, going back to your question, he's got to be mad to go there. I don't know. It's a project that's very difficult. Lampard and Gerrard, there's a lot of questions for me in terms of their managerial ability in the Premiership still. So for me, we're going to be around 7th or 8th. Villa, Leicester, Brighton, I can't see them being better than us at the moment, but Newcastle certainly there or thereabouts. So I don't know, roughly speaking, what kind of teams or what other transfer market these clubs have done that caught your eye, mate? Any players out there that you thought, God, I'd love to have got that player over the line, mate, for our club?
I wouldn't say there's players that I would have liked for us, but I just think Tottenham and Arsenal have done fantastic business, mate. I think those two, have been stuttering the last couple of years, but I don't think they'll be this season. I think both of them are going to have really strong seasons. Certainly I think one of them will win silverware, mate, to be honest. So I think Arsenal with Jesus up front, I think that was a brilliant signing. I think that, I think he'll score loads of goals for them. I think he's perfect fit for them. And Tottenham have done really good business, mate. And, I was listening to, can't remember what show it was. It was another YouTube football show. And they were saying, when you have such a good attacking lineup like Tottenham do, and you go, I'm just going to go and sign another one just because we can, that's ambitious. That's, that shows a lot of intent from them. So I think they're going to have really good seasons. Chelsea's probably the one that's, probably not done as good business. Man United, I don't know, mate, this Ronaldo thing just keeps dragging on, doesn't it? I know I got the situation with, who was their last manager, the Ralph Rangnick. I got why Ronaldo didn't take to that situation. I think he was all wrong for them. But I thought Ten Hag, he'd have embraced him. I thought he'd have been happy that the club's got someone like him. And the way Ronaldo's sort of sniggering at him when he's sort of making commands on the sideline and then Ronaldo disappearing before even full time, it's not good, mate. And when somebody of such influence is throwing his toys out of his pram at your club, it's really not ideal. So I think for us, mate, I think the teams above us have done really good business. I think we are going to struggle to break into that top 6. I think 7th is really what we're aiming for. I think if you get 7th,
we lost Frankie for a while. He'll be back soon, hopefully. Good old internet, isn't it? Always playing up. So hopefully he's back. But let us know in the chat what you think. Oh, Frankie's back in. I got him. There you go. Frankie's back. Let me hide that one. Mate. There we go. Yeah, carry on, mate.
Yeah, so have we got enough to maintain the season with the squad that we've got and make that push for 7th, mate? I don't know. I'd like to hope we have. But like I said, mate, I think we're going to have to sacrifice some bits. If we want 7th in the league, I think, I don't know, mate. I loved European football. Loved it. And I've enjoyed the journey and I've enjoyed everything about it. Going to Lyon was one of the best days I've ever had. But when we had that draw the other day and you looked at how long a season and how long a competition that's going to be, I'm almost erring on the side of...
Yeah.
I can see why Tottenham threw that competition last year.
Oh,
mate. And,
crafty, wasn't it?
They've ended up getting Champions League football and getting top 4. I know we all took the mick out of it and we all insulted it and we all loved to relish in the fact that they got knocked out by nobody. But, mate, they ended up getting 4th Champions League football. I'm looking at it for us now. And I think if we'd have had a real busy transfer window, I would be more excited about it. But because we haven't, mate, we're lining up on Sunday with the same team we had when we played them last game of the season, mate. So I don't think we've had enough depth. I don't think we will add enough depth. And I'm almost erring on the side of, do we really need that competition round us, mate? I don't know. It's
I'm sticking my head out and say I really want this number 10 to come in. I've lost faith in Ben Rama. I want that. Yeah, I want that one that pulls the strings in midfield, sets things up, central point. I'm looking for that number 10 really to just dare I say put the flake on the cornet or whatever. Just put that extra. That's the time. I know left back. Yeah, left back's urgent, and I'm sure they're looking. Tommy, how you doing, mate? Tommy thinks we've been linked with our good old Suzuka. I don't know, mate. He was at Watford last season, wasn't he? So I don't know. But Frankie, do you agree that Downs will be brought in slowly? There's no urgency to throw him in, is there?
I don't think he will be a starter at the beginning of the season, mate. And I don't even know whether he'll be a starter this season, to be honest. That's going to take some time, that one. We know what Moyes is like as well, mate. He likes his reliable players. He likes what he knows. I think you'll see Rice and Souček being the main two. Same as last year, mate, to be honest.
Do you know anything about Fabio Vieira, Porto?
Yeah, 32? I know him. Yeah, I do know him. Yeah, he's a good player, mate. He's solid.
Yeah, because Zinchenko, he would have fixed our left wing back problem, wouldn't have? Don't know how old he is. 32 million. Yeah, Arteta's been back, mate. They got rid of. Did you ever have any time for Guendouzi? 10 million to Marseille. I know he didn't. He doesn't get on in the dressing room with a lot of people. Look how many players they got rid of. But Boubacar Kamara on the free. We were linked with him last year. He's ended up at Villa. So yeah, a lot of teams have done well. Bournemouth, there you have it, mate. A couple of threes, including Fredericks, who hilariously is injured, mate. Right? So Fredericks is injured. It's not really going to do it for him. Aaron Hickey, we were linked with. He's at Brentford, and I was quite interested in Keane Lewis Potter, mate, at 20 million odd. Ben Mee, did you like him on a free transfer? Ben Mee, he's gone.
No.
Basuma, 35 million, they reckon. I don't think Tottenham played anywhere near that. I thought it was a bit lower than that. Chelsea's the one that not people. Well, Sterling, I don't agree. I don't think he finishes that well, Frankie. He often misses open sitters. Calabali, people said he settled in well. But Arsenal are buzzing, mate. I think our good friends AFTV were on another show, and they're really happy in pre-season. They said it looks kind of good. They lost Rudiger, Lukaku, Chelsea, Palace. Sam Johnson on the free went under the radar. Forgot about him, Frank. He's joined Palace.
Yeah.
So if he does half good for them, then all the best. And there's all stories this morning that we did approach Pope, but he said kind of no, really. Again, have you followed Dwight McNeil? He's looked good in pre-season. I've heard at Everton, mate, from Burnley. 20-odd million.
People love him. I don't know. I've not watched enough of him to make a comment, mate, but people do really rate him, didn't they? So,
and I think Richarlison, I mean, the thing with Spurs always was when you've got Kane and Son up front, oh my God, you're always going to be half a decent team, and he's been added. So up front, they've got three very, very difficult players to mark, quite active and quite pacey up there. So they're looking good. Leno's gone to Fulham, 8 million, mate. Pereira, I didn't know about that. Andres Pereira, Man United, 10 million to Fulham. That's gone under the radar. Leeds have immediately recirculated 100 million they got. Sonny Perkins, yeah, he's one of those over there. Rafinha's a lot of money, mate, wasn't it? 55 million.
Yeah.
Kasper Schmeichel has gone, everyone, to Nice. Kasper has left the building.
Mate, I think it makes sense. I think we've been a bit guilty of holding on to players a little bit too long, mate. And these other clubs, they cash in while they still can. So, a lot of people see it as a weird, why would you sell him? He's been really solid for him. Never, it's just, he was like that man on the team sheet that was not questionable, never makes mistakes, just a really solid goalkeeper. But, sometimes cashing in ain't a bad thing before they get over the hill and you don't get anything for them. So, I think we've got a few players like that now, mate, that I could quite happily cash in, to be honest.
Me too, yeah, me too. Again, going back to getting money for players, they got 25 million for Bergwijn, Tottenham. They're going to get 20 million for Rodon, who hasn't really done much. Ericsson was a funny story, mate. When at 25 million, he had 2-3 months contract left. So that's Daniel Levy for you. Have you done your fancy? Because I haven't, mate. I've done the auto pick. I've got to do it, and I'm running out of time. So
yeah, no, my squad's sitting there ready to go. There may be a couple of changes before tonight. When's the deadline, or is that gone?
No. Deadline's usually
Because there's a Friday night game, isn't there?
deadline is 6:30 today, mate.
There we go. So yeah, maybe a couple
6:30
of changes
today.
before then, mate. But pretty much he's sitting there ready to go.
Yeah. Have you liked what you saw of Darwin Núñez? We cheekily were linked with him in window, but wasn't going to happen really.
I'm not sure about him, mate. I'm not sure he works out. I'm not sure he works out.
I don't know if you remember us linked with Calvin Ramsey of Aberdeen, some kind of fullback, 6.5 million, mate. So Origi was the one. Only a lot of people liked him on the 3. Mane's gone. Graham Souness has had a go at Liverpool today, mate, saying he thinks Núñez will be okay, but he said don't estimate the loss of Mane. So tiny, meeny, miny Mo's gone to Monaco. 15.5 million. Didn't work out, did it?
No, it didn't, mate, that one.
That means, yeah.
Them ones always seem like they're commercial deals anyway. Do you know what I mean? Sell a few shirts in that side of the world. I never really think they're about the player's ability, to be honest.
What do you think about Calvin Phillips then at City, 50 million? And that means they're probably going to leave Rice alone, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good move for them, mate. To be honest, I think it was a good deal for both sides, mate. I think, but again, if he went for that sort of money, us sitting there saying we're going to get 100+ million for Declan Rice, when Phillips has gone for 50 odd, I just don't see us getting the sort of money we all think we'll get for Rice, to be honest.
No, I don't. I think he's going to have 2 years left next season, including the option. You're looking at 75, 80, aren't you, mate? I think.
Yeah, I think that's top whack, mate. I really do.
It's typical West Ham way, isn't it? We were getting all carried away looking at 150, 130 and things like that, weren't we? But it wasn't going to happen. But that's kind of what it is. Fantasy football is there. I mean, when you just look at Arsenal's squad, mate, it's huge. I mean, Smith Rowe's there, Martinelli, they're looking good. So I think, like you said, we're looking at top 7, top 8. When you go through us, look at that, it's only got 2 forwards in there. You need another one in there, don't you? And it says Skamaka's injured, but what I'm hearing this morning is he's not going to be involved in City games starting anyway. It's match fitness, nothing to do with an injury or anything.
No, it's fitness, mate. It's fitness.
Let me go through the chat. Yeah, you're like me, aren't you, Gary? You want that number 10 because Benrahma. Yeah, it's not happening, mate. Not happening. Darren, how you doing, mate? I know you're in Thailand, Darren, and you've come back from Bangkok, and I'm back on again, mate. And I think we've got a reasonable number in our league. I'll have a look later. That's the thing I'm hearing, Frank, is even though we're, hopefully get one over the line today, we're going out there again and looking at more position. We're not saying there's nothing left or only got 3 transfers to do now. I don't know where it's going to end up, mate. But then, like you said, is someone going to leave that we don't expect? Benrahma? Is Vlasic going to be given another chance? But I'm like you, I'm pretty strict. Vlasic straight out the door. Benrahma, if someone makes a reasonable bid, I'm happy with that.
20+, mate. I'd bite someone's hand off for 20+ for Benrahma now, mate. I really would.
I'm not going to get that, are we? I don't know. We just don't get anything like that, do we? Gary's concerned, like a lot of fans, while we've lost out on a couple of players, on the wages, Frankie. What's your view on breaking the wage structure, mate, when you're looking for ambition and driving into top 6, mate?
Mate, I think with wages, I think it's okay breaking the bank with wages if the player is of significant enough stature that the rest of the squad feels it's justified. Sometimes people think, right, if it's a player that Moyes wants, break the bank to get them, pay them whatever they want. It don't quite work like that, mate. And, I think we had like a few niggles last year. I think there was a few second half of that season. I think there was a few players kicking up a bit of a fuss about what money they were on. And I don't think it helped. I think that togetherness, that changing room, everyone playing for each other and working for each other, it got a little bit lost in that second half of the season. You had Souček was moaning about his contract. There were some other players who were kicking up a bit of a stink as well. So it's difficult, mate. You can't just... Someone like Onana, you can't just bring him in on massive wages or paying over the odds compared to your other players, because the other players will be turning around and saying, hang on a minute, well, this guy, is no better than me. He probably is, but that's what they'll feel. He's no better than me. Why is he on that money and I'm not? So you do have to be a bit careful. But if it's someone that is a big name player, marquee signing, I think the squad suffer it. and they say, well, actually, this is good for the team. It's improving us. I can see why that player is worth so much more money. So it is difficult, mate. It is difficult. But if we are trying to kick on and we are trying to be this top 6, top 7 side, then at some point you have got to up the bar a little bit and you've got to start paying a bit more for better quality players. That's how it is. But we still seem to have this. It annoys me a little bit, mate, because I still think we've got this Upton Park small club mentality still. And I think we've got to change that. I think we really need to start behaving like we're a massive club, like we know we are. But I just don't see us ever doing it, mate. We just still behave like this tin pot outfit, and it is a bit frustrating.
I agree. I think you got to look at the transfer fees. Well, if it's low, you can kind of offset a few here and there in signing on fees. And so, Tommy, thank you for that. So it's not the Sissoko that we know, the ex-Spurs boy. It's the one from Strasbourg. I don't know nothing about him. I don't know if you've read about the fuss about the plastic season tickets, mate.
I have, mate.
Yeah,
all I'd say on that as well. Give it a chance. We ain't been over there yet. Everyone's kicking off a stink. We might go over there, fly through. There might be minimal queuing. It might work like a dream. It might work like a dream. We're kicking off and we ain't even experienced it yet. We do love a moan up, and I love a moan up as much as the next person when it comes to West Ham. But I don't moan until the situation is real. And at the end of the day, mate, I've downloaded it. It's in my wallet. I'm going to stroll over there on Sunday. I think it will be all right. I do. And I know that's not a popular opinion, but I think it will. Like I said, I experienced it at the Euros and it was fine at the Euros. So let's go and see what it's all about, mate.
I think what we do at some grounds, and even going back to maybe the Champions League thing, leave it too late to get into the ground sometimes. Like with 5 minutes to go, you're trying to get through the turnstiles. Leaving it a bit tight, I think. So try to get in there a bit early if you can, everyone. Nunes will outscore Haaland. You never know, do you? I thought Lukaku was going to smash it at Chelsea, and oh my God, nothing happened, So I don't know, but Nunes, I mean, they've cheekily played really crap friendlies like Mansfield and Shrewsbury, and he's been banging in hat-tricks in pre-season and things like that. Some people getting nervous about Cornet, don't worry. I think the Scamacca one was announced nearly midnight, mate.
Yeah,
so
it'll be all right.
Don't worry
That's fine.
about
That's
that.
job done, mate.
Yeah. What's Tommy saying now? Hang on, mate. Yeah, I mean, the next player that should be on the list in terms of urgency, what position is that for you then, Frank?
It's got to be that left back, mate, isn't it? It's got to be.
Stroke wing back or just left back? I think we're looking at. This could be different formations this year. I don't know the way he's looking at it. I don't know. All the players can play all over the place.
Yeah, and I think that's good, mate. We need that. So, but I think we just need a solid. I think we do need a solid left back, mate. Whether he's a wing back, whatever. I would like to see someone who can get forward a little bit. If you've got Cornet down that side and you've got someone who can get and overlap him, that'll be. I'd like to see that, mate, because we don't really normally have that type of play in us where we've got that pace down the width. So, yeah, I'd like to see someone who can get up and down the pitch from that left back spot.
I think so, and he looks like he trusts his ability. He's very confident. I think he scored on his debut at Burnley, hit the ground running. Because when I checked his rack out at Lyon, there's nothing coming out there saying he's going to be good. So Burnley have definitely seen something there. And the clause is odd, isn't it, Frankie? Very low amount of clause. And then, again, Burnley thinking, we're not sure if he's really going to make it or should we put 30 million in there. But I think we've beaten a few number of clubs to get that deal. 17.5 million for him, I think.
Yeah, if you have or you haven't, mate. It's at the end of the day, it's like I said, it's a signing that I think suits us. I think it was needed. I'm looking forward to having an attacking-minded player down the left-hand side and, mate, a proper wide left player. We've been chucking whoever. We've chucked Vlasic out there. We'll chuck Fornals out there. We'll chuck Lanzini out there. We'll chuck Benrahma out there. Get fed up with doing that, mate. And now we've got a proper, wide player. That's his natural position. So it's a really good thing, mate.
I don't think I spoke to you about that 0-0 game. I don't know if you saw it, the friendly in France.
I did, yeah. I watched the first half. I didn't watch the second half. I watched the first half.
I didn't watch the second half. I had to go somewhere, but I wouldn't have anyway. God, that was like, was it Johnson on the left side again, wasn't it? And oh my God. Phillips, Rice is better than Phillips, mate. There we go.
No, he is. I don't think he's that much better. He's better, but he's not double. He's not. We're talking if we're going from 50 to 100. Is he twice as good as Phillips? No, I don't think he. I know Rice is class. We know he's world class, but I'm not sure he's twice as good.
Good point that I wanted to talk about that you reminded me, Trini. Hope you're all right. Ben Rama, because I obviously season ticket holder, and you see a lot more when you're at the ground and the highlights are on, so you can see people making those runs. And Ben Rama, mate. So what will typically happen with Ben Rama, everyone, is at the end of the game, you look at the stats. Sometimes it might say he's assisted something, right? But what you guys haven't seen, and I've seen, is 6-7 crosses that have gone behind the goal, mislaid passes that's driving David Moyes mad. So there's a lot of things there, Frankie, that people are not aware of, So, and a lot of his reasonable performances come when you're playing the bottom 5 in the League Cup. So I'm looking for Benny again when you're playing the top 7, mate, top 8, to control the game and be visible. And him and Lanzini, far too often, physically, they're just outmaneuvered, outbullied, and they go into this shell. I mean, I don't know about Lanzini because he's got something still. Ben Rama certainly goes into a shell, mate, instead of
he does.
Instead of perhaps saying, I'll show you. And I know David has had a go at him. And Ben, like kids, we used to get told off by our dads and we sulk, wouldn't we? So I think he's one of those. And I don't think that's going to work in the David Moyes dressing room. You've got to come back and kind of do a bit more than that, mate. So that's kind of what I feel. But yeah, stats don't sometimes show the true story, but that's what I kind of saw. And I don't think, Frankie, I saw anything since Christmas from him. I know there's a lot of other players as well. I'm not sure, mate. Moyes ain't going nowhere. The Ryan's on it. Benny's crap. Oh, mate. Have you seen what? No, what's he said, Dabs? Is he? Oh, he's not at it again, is he, with his media stuff? Oh, Lingard, give it a rest, mate. Oh, my God. I mean, hopefully Cornet's over the line and that closes the door. Because what I was saying, Frankie, also earlier on was we're going to go in for a lot of players. We miss out and then we get upset. But as long as you go to target number 2, target number 3, get that over the line, then as fans, we don't mind, do we? All right, you're always going to lose out on a player. But what happened in the past is we've chased that player for so long and not left enough time to get anyone. So sometimes we've not got anyone in, or we got someone who's just half as good or half as cheap as your original target, isn't it? Any more names like Diaz you've heard underground from your sources, mate, that we don't know? Or
I haven't, mate. It's all been a bit quiet with leakage stuff, but it's good, mate, isn't it? Because shit shouldn't be coming out from the club. It's been quite refreshing, really, that nobody seems to know too much about what we're doing. So it's good.
Yeah, a lot of people on holiday as well, so they'll come back. Do we think David Moyes is moving towards well, wasn't that the one last week, wasn't it? 0-0,
it looks that way, doesn't it? He's certainly
pretty safe.
That's what he's looking at.
Pretty safe, but nothing up front, threatening-wise anay. Do you know if anything's wrong with Antonio, mate? He's missed the last couple, isn't he? Not been around.
He was in McDonald's last night. So. No, he was.
Really?
Yeah, 10:30. He's in McDonald's.
Oh, I don't know if Frankie's pulling my leg or not.
I'm being serious. He was in. People were putting it out there. There's a picture of him. Someone who worked in there took a picture. He rocked up to McDonald's at 10:30 last night. So,
do you think the club would be happy then?
No wonder his body shape's a little bit unusual at the moment.
Oh no, because he looked like he lost that bit of bulk, which kind of hopefully helped him not get injured so much. So, we'll see. Taron, how you doing, mate? Are there any other players? Listen, should, would, and could are 3 different things. I think we need, obviously, again, I like messing about. Obviously, looking at that, I'm looking at a left back stroke left wing back. I'm looking at a CDM who's better than Souček, and just be a CDM. You don't have to go out there and score 10 goals a season. I'm looking at a playmaker and maybe a second striker, mate. So we're still looking 3-4-5. I don't know if I missed anything, Frankie, or maybe you're happy with Souček. We don't need a true CDM, mate.
I think it'll be people are knocking him again in pre-season, and
he scored, didn't he? I think
he did. He's the only one who's been scoring. He scored 2, didn't he? Mate, I think he's had a rest. I think he's had a breather. It was desperately needed. I think he'll be a bit reinvigorated, certainly for the first part of the season. Mate, I don't have a problem with him. I'm okay with him. He's limited on the ball. You know, he's definitely not. The problem is he's not a holding CDM. He enjoys and really enjoys arriving in the box late and getting onto things. He loves that part of it. And when you take that out of his game, mate, he looks depressed. When he plays where he can't go past the halfway line, he just looks so uninterested. It's unbelievable. You have to let him get forward. You do. And it's what I said to people before, mate. I think Rice reads the game better than any other defensive player in the league. I think Rice reads the game defensively. Unbelievable. I know he wants to add goals. I know people think that he has got more goals in him. I don't think if you had Souček being a more advanced player, Rice being a more advanced player, Souček will always score more goals than Rice will, because I just think he's got that. His heading ability is phenomenal. He's a danger. I just don't feel Rice is as much of a threat, mate. And I know people don't like that, and it's an unpopular opinion, but I just think Souček is more of a goal threat than Rice will ever be.
I think I agree with that, because what I was saying earlier on was Declan Rice is what you just said. He's one of the world's best at it, which means anticipating, cutting out passes, putting a foot in, having the engine to then drive forward with it. And that's his bread and butter. And I don't know what he's got in his head that he needs to match Souček for goals. I don't think he needs that at this stage. Stick to what you're good at, and then we'll see. Because then, if he's going to... Because it didn't benefit the team in a lot of ways, did it, mate, last season?
I don't think
they changed it around, you know? So you've got to... And David Moyes probably... Well, Rice is Rice, thinking, well, might give him a bit of leeway in what he wants. But yeah, let us go back to normal. Rice backs off a bit, right in front of the centre-backs, trying to read the game and intercept where he can, and Souček can piss about up front, because he can't do the Rice job, Souček's, and the other way around as well, isn't it, everyone? So Trini wants a Cressy. When a young Cressy came from Ipswich, that was a nice little signing from Big Sam, I think. And God, how many years is that, mate? I wonder, Cressy. He's done a number of years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
God, I wish I could do my head the way he does, mate. He's an expert at it. Doesn't move one bit, Frankie, in the whole match.
No.
Always looks sharp, then he always looks sharp, mate. Tommy thinks a back five would benefit Krez and Johnson. I can't see Cressy. No, I don't want to use Cressy a lot. I think on the bench is good. Johnson, I can't give you an opinion on Glenn Johnson, because I have not seen enough of him in the right place for a number of games. I don't know. Can you judge Glenn Johnson, Frankie, in what we've seen? It's difficult, isn't it?
I can judge Johnson, mate. And the problem you got is he's not built to be a fullback. He's too stocky. He's too broad. He hasn't got that athleticism that's needed to get up and down the pitch that you need to be a fullback in modern day football. When he does go past the halfway line, he panics. He looks lost. You don't know whether to cross. You don't know whether to pass. It's not me digging him out. It's not me being horrible. He's a really solid defensive player. He's really solid defensively. I think to the right of a back three, I actually think is ideal for him. So I do think a back five would benefit Johnson. Because I just feel he's more suited with his build to be, someone who is more always defensive and not pushing forward. He's so limited in his ability when he goes past the halfway line. So, no, I agree with that comment. I'm not sure about Cresswell. I think Cresswell is just, he's got to that stage, mate, where he's just legs ain't got it to get up and down anymore. And even those assists that he always used to contribute are starting to dry up a little bit as well. I
think you're right. And I think another thing, again, going back to what you mentioned about Cornet, is that if we kind of counter-attack through Cornet, he's going to be direct. And what we were doing last season, Frankie, stopping and starting, weren't we, mate?
Yeah.
And Johnson as well, perhaps. You get up to the halfway line, you look up, there's no one up front, no one making those runs. You give the other team time to regroup, and that's kind of what hit us, wasn't it, a little bit last season, I think. We weren't quick enough. We'll see, mate. With again, it's one of those with David. I don't know what's going to happen with him, mate. Yeah, you're right, mate. I think the 5 sub rule, isn't it? Yeah, I did talk about
Moyes
this
can
morning.
barely make one sub. barely manages to make one sub, let alone 5.
I think he's told the league special dispensation, like, well, I don't need 5. Can we have an extra
He
point?
must do, mate. He must do, because there's no chance in the world that you'll ever see a game where he uses 5 subs. Absolutely no chance.
Well, everyone in our chat's been laughing, saying they still expect 2 goalkeepers to be on the bench. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. Even Frankie was mentioning, we've had 2 seasons where injuries been kind of kind to us. We're going to get that sod's law season where, yeah, we're going to lose, and then you don't want to think about it, but something happens to Rice, Zuma, or Bowen. It's going to be tough, isn't it, mate? It's going to be tough, mate.
Well, I've just seen someone posted, mate, that they've been given a season ticket card for this season, like an actual physical card. So it does look like the club are sending them out to certain people. So
I think what they agreed with 2 days ago was for the over 65s, right?
yeah.
And then Hammers United went back in there with a petition and trying to, it is what it is.
Hammers United always pipe up about something.
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Oh, mate. What's your opinion on Vlasic? I'm just going to write him off, mate, and send him back. That's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, but I was like that from day one. I was really harsh on him I was harsh not on him. I was harsh on the signing. We should have signed a centre forward with that money, mate. We had to, because we had European competition. Antonio was always going to play too many games. We had to sign a centre forward, and we didn't. And it was just it was totally the wrong signing at that particular time, mate. And it's not only was it a wrong positional signing, but even the player now has let us down a little bit as well, mate. So it's another one of them 25+ million pound signings that, what you're going to get back for him now? Nothing. So you can't keep doing it, mate. You can't keep constantly spending 25+ million and getting nothing in return. It's no good.
Yeah, he doesn't look happy on the training ground, and he's on a good number, so he's not in a hurry to leave. So we'll see what happens. David Moyes confirms 2 injury absences at City. What's all that about? And who's out? Who's out, mate? Who's out? Oggy, yeah, what's up with Oggy, mate? He's still out. He came back in and he went again, didn't he?
Mate, I don't expect anything from him.
He's 34, isn't he?
34. He's just had a real significant injury. What do you expect him to do now? I don't see him offering much at all. And if he does, then that's a real bonus. But I've not written him off, but I have no expectations for him playing a significant part in any way this season, because that age with that type of injury, mate, it's double hard to come back from.
Bit of a breaking news. You might have heard that Brighton have sold their centre-back for 60 million to Chelsea, which happened about lunchtime. Mm-hmm. And what Brighton have done, apparently due to 1 or 2 stories, that they've tabled a bid for Issa Diop with that money, and on Chelsea's Malang Sarr. So they're recycling that cash, everyone. Mm-hmm. What do you want to do with Diop then, Frankie? What do you want to do with him?
I just think for his own sake, he needs to go, because I just don't think, after he had that Leicester game last season, which I think he was brilliant in, to then not feature again for the rest of the season, I think was really harsh. And that would really just keep knocking his confidence. You're just going to shoot him to bits, mate. He's, for his own career and for just his own, I don't know, to try and get some regular football again, I think he's just got to go, mate. And that's me just thinking of him and his future career in football, mate. I think he's just got to leave.
I think I agree with you. David agrees with you. I think Hammerhead in the chat was saying, no, we need to. But as I said, Hammerhead, he's not happy. And David Moyes doesn't want anything to touch that dressing room unhappiness in there. And even with Benny, they're half decent players. Hopefully they'll reignite their future somewhere else. It just happens like that. Vlasic is the one. I just think he's not good enough for the Premiership. But the other 2, Benny and Diop, I'm sure they could half rescue their career somewhere else, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, Arsenal for life. How you doing, mate? 7th or 8th? Yeah, somewhere around there, isn't it, mate?
I'll take it.
Yeah, somewhere around there, mate. Oh, my God. Ryan's on it. Sensi. Yeah, we spoke about that. We are being linked with a couple of centre-backs, everyone. Do we think... Well, I did look at that, Tower, and Antonio and Bowen are right-sided predominantly, Frankie. I think they don't play on the left, I don't think. That's why Cornet is important. That's why Diaz been linked. That's why Kostic has been linked. We do need more left players, and Agard is a left-sided centre-back, but all right, he'll be back. I heard was it you telling me he's going to come back sooner than we think, Agard? I don't know, someone told me. I don't know.
Yeah, it weren't me.
I know who it is, my son. I don't know where he gets his stuff from. Trevor Chalobo being looked at the club being now. Listen, I think it's going to be a mad window, mate. Yep. Because the money in the Premiership's gone up another notch last year, I think, isn't it, mate? Look, all the clubs got that extra bit more money, haven't they?
Yeah, that's right.
And no one else has got any of the foreign clubs. Like that Onana, he's on 6k a week, mate, before talking to West Ham about having 110. 6k a week. Brighton looking at, that news just filtered through, mate. I had a look. We're just going to wrap it up soon. Nearly done 15 minutes, and Frankie's got a day off. Yeah, I think hopefully David's woken up a bit like us and running around trying to grab as many as he can, really. It's a bit like that Noah's Ark when you open the door and you tell everyone, just come in, come on, just come in, get in. And then we'll see. We're always a need for them. Never. Like even with Diaz, mate, I'd rather have him than not have anyone. I'd rather have him in there, right? That's a selfish fan's point of view. I'm not paying the salary. I don't care. Yeah, dribblers, proper wingers that take on people. Not many of them around, mate. And your number 10s, like, I'm sure Frankie used to love Yossi Benayoun when he came in.
Yeah.
Isle Berkovic a little bit before that. John Moncur a bit before that. Ian Bishop before that. We've missed that kind of plan. Benny, we were hoping was going to do it. We never know, but doesn't look like it. You know, he's, even in pre-season, I didn't really... He started last week's game, mate. I don't think anything happened, mate. Yeah, Bowen's so reliable. We never mention. We never have to worry about Bowen. He's always going to put shift. He's always going to put shift in, mate. And we keep talking about Rice. I mean, you got to think, next year Bowen as well. You can't keep 8 years.
Mate, for me, Bowen should have been Emery year last year. I think without Bowen, I think that season's totally different. I think he was fantastic. I really do. What I told you, what annoyed me about that player awards was when because it weren't the end of the season yet, they done a joint top goal scorer award for Bowen and Antonio. And I was sitting there just thinking, just a liberty. Like Bowen was always going to score more goals than Antonio, always. And that was Bowen's award to be given to him, not shared with Antonio, who was never going to score as many goals. So,
did you see Mr. Perkins at that show?
Yes, yeah, he was paraded as the Young Hammer of the Year, wasn't he?
Well, did you get any sixth sense out of him? What type of lad
No,
he is?
I mean they made a big deal out of him being the Young Hammer of the Year, mate. So they done the award, and he was looking. That's why I was quite surprised. Then all of a sudden he was out the door. It was quite unusual.
Funny enough, wasn't it? What's the food like? All right?
No, not the best. They'd done. They had beef Wellington for the main. That was really nice. Really nice. That was lovely. But the starter was a bit iffy, and the afters was a bit naff. But the beef Wellington was beautiful, mate.
Sounds good. Peter Oggie's playing at the moment, under 21 at Fulham. 36 minutes gone. John Farley to be replaced by... Who's John Farley again? Oh, sorry. Oh, John in the chat, sorry. Sometimes they get chatting to themselves in the chat. They ignore me, Frankie, and I wonder what's going on. Oggie and Dawson should only be... Dawson, I forgot about Dawson. Hello, Jamesy. Ben Rama's biggest fans in the room. Jamesy.
What's happening, James?
James, hope you're right. Friday's usually when you go Suffolk, isn't it, mate? You're going nice weather, mate. I haven't been that often. That's why I wanted to go to Ipswich's ground. But anyway, Frankie, I'll leave it to you. Anything left to be discussed, or we'll close the show, mate? I know you want to do your own stuff, mate, as well.
Yeah, no, I'm just really, mate, I've been listening to Centre Force Radio this morning, Mickey Moore and Andy Swallow on there, really getting me in the mood for football being back. Nothing better than listening to the Time Tunnel radio show. Absolutely love it. So it really puts me, I've missed that football feeling while we haven't had it, and it's all coming back really soon. So I'm just really looking forward, regardless of the transfer window, regardless of what West Ham do next season. It will just be good to be back, mate. I love going over there. Football is my life and always has been, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone over there and getting back to a bit of West Ham, mate, which is, mate, I honestly couldn't care less whether we sign any more players, whether we don't win a single game for the whole season, mate. I just love going to West Ham, and nothing will ever beat it for me, mate. So I can't wait to get over there.
There's some sense of humour. Dab, stop it. Stop it. Yeah, I'm going to be in your part of the world Sunday morning. I've got somewhere to go, which I didn't know
You're leaving
about.
it late to get over there, mate?
Okay, yeah. Guide me, because I have to be in Kent for 9-10 in the morning, and I told him I'm out of there quick. So shall I leave at midday then, Gillingham? Leave midday.
To be fair, you don't have to leave her, because that high speed train will get you there in.
No,
in
I'm
no
driving,
time
isn't I? I'm
you're
driving.
driving.
Yeah.
Driving.
Yeah. It said 40
Yeah,
minutes. I don't know.
You'd do well to do it in 40 minutes, mate, with the traffic. So I'd leave a little bit earlier.
I'll leave at midday then. That's 4.5 hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
4.5 hours and then I'll meet my daughter, I think, in a match. I'm not sure. But you're going to. How long does it take you by train then?
12 minutes.
Bloody hell.
High-speed trains are a beautiful thing, mate.
Right, we're going to call it quits. Last funny thing for Frankie. He's passed his medical. No sign of crushed nuts, mate. There we go. Cool. Cornetto, that's what we need. Anyway, thank you, Frankie, for your time.
Cheers, everyone.
And hopefully catch up with you Sunday, mate. And thank you for everyone in the chats. Keep subscribing. Channel's going through the roof. You guys are nuts. So take care. Yeah, have a great Friday, everyone. Cheers, Frankie.
See you later, mate. Bye.
See you later. Bye, everyone.